I'll be as strong as a mountain, or weak as a willow tree. Any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. I'll be as tame as a baby, or wild as the raging sea. Any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. In your hands my heart is clay. Take and mold as you may. I am what you make me, you only to take me, and in your arms I will stay. I'll be a fool or a wise man, my darling, you hold the key. Yes, any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. Yes, any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. Yeah, well, there it is. Any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. Words and Music by Aaron Schroeder and Cliff Owens. Good evening. Hey. Good evening, Richard. Good evening, Dave. Hello, Nurogiza. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. Hey, hey. Ho, hey, Mom. Ho, hey, Dave. Look, I'll show you. I have a little assistant in my lap this evening. She sidled up and got in between me and the back of the chair I'm sitting in. So the original key, if I try to sing it like Elvis, I'll be as strong as a mountain, or weak as a willow tree. And then it goes really high. Any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. So, hey, Rafi, how you doing? So that's why I moved it down a fifth. I'll be as strong as a mountain, or weak as a willow tree. Any way you want me, well, that's how I will be. You know, I used to listen to these songs as a child. We had an 8-track player in the living room, and we had Elvis's greatest hits. And I would listen to that thing over and over again. And I had, um, did you ever read the book High Fidelity? It was an incredible novel by Nick Hornby. I think Nick Hornby. It then was a movie, which was, I think, an okay movie and a fine movie, maybe a good movie. But the book was so incredible because I read that when I was living in London 30 years ago. In 1992, I was living there, and I didn't know I was reading a novel. It was the one time in my life that happened. High Fidelity. I thought I was reading a memoir because the narrator writes in this very potent and detailed way about his relationship to the songs that he grew up with and how they polluted his sense of what romance and relationships were. Um, I just thought I just thought of that because I was listening to these Elvis songs over and over again. This one happens to be very kind of masochistic, sort of. I don't know if masochistic is the right word, but he's very much like putty in the woman's hands. And that's, I think, in a lot of his songs, that's how he plays it, which I don't think is probably how Elvis actually was. I have no idea, but the songs are all very doughy, and he's like totally malleable. Here he's saying, "I'll be whatever you want me to be. Just tell me how you want me to be, and that's how I will be. Any way you want me, that's how I will be." Which doesn't actually sound like the. I know these aren't roadmaps or instruction manuals for how to live your life, but it's fun to look at them that way. It seems like it's not a healthy way to go into a relationship. It's kind of desperate. It's kind of disingenuous. It's disingenuous to say, "I'll be however you want me to be." I mean, also because that lasts like, that's like first date behavior. That's maybe first month of a relationship behavior. But then people fall back into who they actually are. And then, oh, thank you, Neurogeezer, for your kind word about my falsetto. Nothing from Nothing is a more healthy pop song about love. Oh, I don't know that. Nothing from Nothing is King Lear. I think that's Shakespeare. Not supplicating. Way Over Yonder in the minor key. Oh, I don't know Way Over Yonder. All right, I'm going to look that up. Way Over Yonder. Thank you, as always. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ethan. This is the No Show, and the No Show happens every single night at 9 p.m. Um, and I talk, I sing, I talk about the singing, I sing about the talking. What's the little plastic thingy called in the middle of the 45? That's called a bullet. That's called a. Oh, not you're not talking about a 45 gun. You're talking about the 45. Yeah, what was that thing called? Back in the day when you had a 45, um, the little 45 record had a gap. You had to put a little thing in there so it would play on the turntable. They were plastic, and I think they kind of gave them away at Sam Goody, or maybe they cost a nickel. And then occasionally there were metal ones, which always seemed wrong. From a previous era, there were metal ones, which seemed like that was a material that was too hard. Hey, Bella Luna, Bella Lune. Nice to see you. Thank you for thanking me. Yeah, you could stack those things. I guess that's right. Did you notice I just licked my finger to turn the page? That's a real old school move. Do you ever lick your finger to scroll on the phone? Don't do that. If you're licking your finger to scroll on the phone or swipe, um, Way Over Yonder in the minor key, there ain't nobody that can sing like me. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to look that up. I did look up Lydia the Tattooed Lady or whatever, which is a Groucho Marx song. Someone suggested it. And it's also by the guy. So Sammy Kahn, I think, oh, maybe it's Yip Harburg. No, it was Yip Harburg, I think I was reading about. I think. So I watched that, and it's clever, and it's one of those patter songs where there's a lot of funny lyrics. But I don't think it's something for me to sing. But it's worth taking a look at Groucho Marx. You can watch it on YouTube, singing some funny lyrics about Lydia, the tattooed lady. Yeah, that makes sense. That thing that you'd stick in the middle of the 45 would be called a spider. Why not? Oh, I wanted to say this about Sammy Kahn. I was talking about Sammy Kahn. I sang Time After Time, and what else did I sing by Sammy Kahn last night? Oh, Love and Marriage. But so he's the lyricist. I should have known that. I was saying, I don't know if I said he was the songwriter, but he's a lyricist. The other thing that's incredible is that he won 4 Academy Awards for his lyrics, Sammy Kahn. And the other thing that I posted, if you go back into my YouTube page and you take a look underneath last night's show, I posted a link to something I found after the fact. In fact, I think I found it during the show. I noticed that Sammy Kahn's son is a jazz guitarist named Steve Kahn. And so one of the things that pops up is Steve Kahn appearing on the David Letterman show. I think Steve Kahn, jazz guitarist, took a job on the Letterman show, maybe playing in the band. But then one night he sat for an interview, and it's such a funny interview because he shows the photos from his bar mitzvah in like 1959, probably. And since his dad was Hollywood royalty by that point, his dad was an Academy Award-winning lyricist, the guest list was just unbelievable. So Steve Kahn, at the time of the interview in 1984, he's like, around 40. And David Letterman flips through the photos from the bar mitzvah, and Steve just points out who each of these guests is. And it's just all these Hollywood bigwigs, people from in front of the camera, behind the camera, studio executives, movie stars, starlets. It's a very funny segment. I recommend it. You can find it on YouTube, just searching for Steve Kahn bar mitzvah photos. But you can also just find it underneath last night's show here at the nosho. Vince Girardi, the great jazz artist. Wait, what did you say, Richard, about Vince Girardi? Any way you want me, that's how I will be. Something about Vince Girardi. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, Richard. Thank you for... Oh, just a great jazz artist. Okay. Roger that. And then I realized when I was looking at these Elvis songs earlier today, a lot of them are the same. Not just the attitude about the lady. He's sort of horned up, and he's giving them instructions on how to behave. Sort of doesn't go along with that other song where he's saying, I'll do anything you want. But in this song, he's saying, do anything I want. When I walk through the door, baby, be polite. You're gonna make me sore. If you don't treat me right, don't you ever kiss me once, kiss me twice, to read me nice. I mean, this guy is a real control freak. When I walk through the door, he's not even saying like when I see you, he's saying the minute I walk through the door, here's what I want you to do. I know that you've been told. I know you've been told, probably by me. I know that you've been told it's not fair to tease. So if you come on cold, I'm really gonna freeze. If you don't want me to be cold as ice, to read me nice. So now he's threatening. He's saying, if you don't want me to be cold as ice, treat me nice. It's threats. It's cajoling. Make me feel at home if you really care. Scratch my back and run your pretty fingers through my hair. I mean, this guy is pushy. He's pushy. You know I'd be your slave if you asked me to. But if you don't behave, I'll walk right out on you. If you want my love, then take my advice, to read me nice. I just want to be your teddy bear. That's another song, but it's conflicting messages. I guess we could chalk it up to flirtation. He's being flirtatious. He's telling her what he likes, and they say that is important in a relationship. Clear communication. It's important to say the things you like, the things you don't like, but it's probably better not to be so bossy. Mm. Room temperature tap water from the good people at the Department of Environmental Protection of New York, New York. Also, Movement Voter Project. Movement Voter Project. I think I need a cup that's horizontal so you can really read that. Movement Voter Project. Let's protect democracy. Let's protect democracy the way the other side wants to protect all the fetuses. And what power? And when he sings a song that is as good as oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say that you like my interpretations of the song. Yeah, I'm interpreting it. Oh, Tom Jones. Yeah, Tom Jones is amazing. Yeah. Tom Jones is another amazing singer. The songs he sings. Oh, not your favorite songs. Projection much? Mobius says. I don't know if you're talking to me or to Elvis or, but yeah, projection. Projection. It happens. Elvis was conflicted. Yeah. Yeah, he's like all of us. No, we're a little bit of this, we're a little bit of that. We're nice, then we're mean. We're tired, then we're awake. We're loud, then we're quiet. We're shy, then we're outgoing. I could go on. Oh, talking to Elvis. Yeah, Elvis projecting. Yeah. Scratch my back and run your pretty fingers through my hair. I don't know why when he says scratch my back, I picture him having a very hairy back. I'm sorry, but maybe Elvis didn't have a hairy back. I don't know. All right. Okay, next. What do we got? Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Oh, Yellow Ribbon. That was a great song from my childhood. I loved that. Oh, what did I want to talk about before I get just completely? If I spend the whole half hour in the music, there are two things I wanted to discuss. Oh, number one, I ran into a friend outside when I was walking the dogs. I was walking the Chihuahua today. Her bladder has become a challenge. So I take her out a lot. So we had a little walk and we were talking about the fact he said, "Have you seen this reindeer, My Reindeer, this Netflix series?" He says to me, and I says to him, I says, "No, I haven't seen it," but I says to him, I says, "I saw the headline in the New York Times that it's a big hit, this thing, but I haven't seen it." He says to me, he says it's amazing. He says it's about a stalker, and I says to him, I says, "You know what? I don't really like movies about stalkers because, well, like I was a serious basketball player up until about the age of 17 or 18. And whenever I see a movie in which a character is supposed to be credibly playing basketball, like Leonardo DiCaprio in the Basketball Diaries, it's really hard to watch the movie because you're supposed to believe that this person is prodigiously talented in this one area that you happen to know about. And you can't really watch the film. You can't suspend disbelief when you see that the person in those few scenes where they're doing their sport, that they don't really do it. Uh, at any kind of level where you could believe that they're kind of changing the world or changing their lives with this talent. So that's why I have trouble watching basketball movies or, you know, that any movie about a person who does the job that you do, part of you is like, okay, that's not really what it's like. That's why I can't watch these stalker series. Because as someone who, anyway, that was the joke. My friend got a big laugh out of it. I can't watch stalker movies because, as someone who was a stalker myself, they just don't really portray the stalkers realistically. I've never stalked, but I was once stalked. I'll tell that story sometime. I was stalked. It was kind of flattering. Then it got kind of dark. It got a little bit I wouldn't say scary. It wasn't scary. It was just kind of got a little disturbing. When I walk through the door, when I walk through the door, scratch my back and run your fingers through my hair. Don't kiss me once, kiss me twice, and if you're not nice to me, I'm going to leave you. My God, that Elvis. Come on, take it easy. Okay, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. That was topic one. My Reindeer, a stalker show. Apparently, it's really good, according to my friend Peter and according to the New York Times. The other thing I want to talk about is, so the other day I was visiting my father, and he had among, oh, Kathy says high maintenance. Yes, he was high maintenance. But let me do a plug, because I was in a TV show called High Maintenance, and you can see it on was it HBO? Yes, it was HBO. HBO High Maintenance was the name of the show. It began as a web series, and then then it got picked up by HBO, and in the first season of the HBO version, I am in season 1, episode 1, scene 1. I have a very nice, fun, one of the most fun TV jobs I ever had, I have to say. Even though it was just a day, I played a Russian barber. In fact, I think my character's name was Russian barber. Oh, Russian hairdresser. I think that's my character's name. Yeah. So thanks for saying high maintenance. Uh, Scratch my back and run your pretty thing. You know what? I feel like it's a little bit condescending also to say, run your pretty fingers through my hair. You know what I mean? When you use pretty in a certain way, it can sound a little bit imperious. Have you ever been hacked? That's scary too. Dave in LA. Have I been hacked? Well, you know what? I don't know if I've been hacked. Maybe I was hacked, unbeknownst to me. I don't know. I've gotten those letters. You get those letters saying, hello, this is the Sprint Corporation. You had a cell phone. You had cell phone service with us 12 years ago, and we just detected blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know. There's really nothing to do at that point. But I do own that. I do subscribe to one of those services where you pay them a certain amount a month, so that if that does happen, if you're the victim of whatever identity theft or hacking, apparently that makes it easier to unwind the damage. So LifeLock, I think it's called LifeLock. When I walk through the door. Okay, that's an earworm. That's called an earworm. I can't get it out of my ear. Oh, I need better cybersecurity, Richard? Oh, are you in the tech business? Okay, so I need more than what's it called? Um, LifeLock? Okay. You know I can't be found. You know I can't be found. That's what I thought it was when I was a kid. It's you know I can be found. You know I can't be found. Sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel, ooh, ah, ooh, to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Oh, baby, it's still you I'm thinking of. Oh, Suspicious Minds. Yes, that's the one that you turned me on to a few months ago, Mary. That's a great song. I got to resurrect that. I don't think I'm going to do that right this second. My God, where does the time go? Oh, so I started to tell you anecdote 2. Anecdote 2 was about, use a VPN. LifeLock is after you lose. I see. So LifeLock is like insurance. It doesn't prevent the flood. It just makes the cleanup a little easier. Oh, I definitely can't sing In the Ghetto. That one, it's just funny just to have someone singing that. I mean, Elvis, I guess, got away with it. He got away with a lot, but, oh, well, don't disclose the service you use, 16 Tones says. Okay, too late for that. Okay, so I have this weighted, so I visited my dad, who has all sorts of exercise equipment, and he has on the floor among the equipment is this weighted vest. I said, what is that thing? He said, oh, it's like a 15, 12. Anyway, he thought it was 12. It's a 16-pound vest. You put it on, sort of looks like you're wearing a bulletproof vest. And you walk around with it. Or I guess you could go jogging with it. You could do whatever you want with it. It's sort of like a passive workout tool. It's something you just put on, so it's like you're carrying around a lot of groceries all day. And I've been wearing it since last weekend. I mean, I'm not wearing it right now, but I've been wearing it a lot, and I think, I don't know, does it do anything? If you can't come around. It's funny because VPNs are supposed to keep us safe, but they are generally also used by bad actors. Oh, wow, we got deep into the tech chat. I wouldn't say I'm a Luddite, but I'm I'm not a technophobe, but I'm a anti-technocrat. I don't know. I'm not good with the technology. Anyway, so I have this weighted vest that I've been walking around with. You know, it's 16 pounds, I found out. How did I find out? Because when I was walking the dog, after my conversation with Peter about my reindeer, I went into there's a very cool, right here on Grand Avenue in Williamsburg, just 2 blocks from the river, little plug, there's a vintage clothing store, like a vintage, or what's it called? A store where, it sells used clothing. But they sell the clothing by the weight. I've never seen that in my life. They sell it by the weight. So after you shop, first of all, the store is organized by color, which is really cool. It just looks very cool. Like all the red shirts hanging in the same place, all the blue jeans. And when you're done shopping, you bring your stuff over to the register and they put it into baskets based on, there's like some of the clothes are $20 a pound, some are blah, blah, and the most expensive is $55 a pound. They sell clothing by the pound. So I walked in, I'm wearing this 16-pound vest. I put it in the basket. I said, what would this thing cost in here? So I put it in the the $55 basket. So if you can do the multiplication quickly in your head, I think it was like $878. That's $55 a pound. But they don't sell weighted vests in a vintage store, but that was kind of cool. The only real way to protect yourself, Richard is sharing some of his expertise. Thank you, Richard. The only real way to protect yourself, unplug the Cat 5 cable, stay offline. Well, the problem there is I would first have to figure out what is a Cat 5. Oh, Category 5, I guess. Category 5. Isn't that a hurricane? Okay, it's a cable. Unplug your Cat 5 and stay offline. Then there's no nosho. That's right. This song has been in my head since I learned it for this show a few weeks ago, and I'm going to just give it another little whirl for the fun of it, part of it at least. Di male, ma vorrei appatti stasera, lontano non ci resisto più. Dice che è rimasto sul mare, che io stesso prima, chi lo mare blu. Monastery a Santa Chiara, tengo cuore scuro scuro, ma perché? Perché ogni sera penso a Napoli com'era, penso a Napoli com'era. Fontanella Capomonte, chi sto cuore me ne schianta, quando sento di da gente che si è fatta malamente sto paese, ma perché? Non è vero, non ci credere, e moro per sta smania e torna a Napoli, ma che già fa paura ci torna. Monastery a Santa Chiara, tengo cuore scuro scuro. Ma perché? Perché ogni sera pensa a Napoli com'era, pensa a Napoli com'era. That's a guy who wants to go back to Napoli, but he's afraid to go back to Napoli because the place has been destroyed by the war, and he's afraid to go back. Pensa Napoli com'era, pensa Napoli com'era. Oh, snap, Z. I'm sorry you missed the beginning of the show. Yada-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Yada-dee-da-da-da-da. You know how Bugs Bunny, when he's just alone, when Bugs Bunny alone, he's just like, yada-da-da-da. You know how he sings to himself? Hey, I can't quite get it, but I love how he would do that. Room temperature, New York City tap water. Yeah. You know what I mean, right? He's like showering. Bugs Bunny is showering, and he's just singing. He's singing to himself in that particular nasally, high-pitched. Yeah, good Bunny. Well, what else was his? Oh, right. Of course, there was the very famous episode where they do a whole Wagner parody, the Kill the Wabbit thing. Oh, Neurogeezer says that water will grow hair on my face. Oh, and thank you, by the way. Someone said that this is how she starts her evening out there in Montana, so that's awesome. Thank you for pointing that out, Mobius. Love you all. Thanks. Love you all. Live reaction videos. Wait, what are live reaction videos? Would that mean I would be seeing your live reaction to my Z? Can you send me a separate message and tell me what that is? I'd love to do that if I could figure out what it is. Oh yeah, the beard thing. I wanted to just say. So I checked in with the show next Friday in a week. I have a day on a Netflix show, and I got clearance from the hair and makeup department. They would like my beard to be the same length that it was in the audition, which the audition was almost a year ago. So okay, Z, I'll do that. I'll check out the video you sent me. By the way, my email is ehbase@gmail.com. If anyone wants to email me suggestions, ehbase@gmail.com. Oh, a video of me reacting to a song. Oh, those are great. I've seen like these two young guys doing that. Like you just see a video of the faces they make when they're listening to the song. I love that. Those are really cool. Yeah, so they want the beard the same length as the audition. So I had to look up in my memory banks the video from the audition from last June, and I found it. So now I'll have to match it. Yeah. Google Blue Bayou. Okay, I'll do that for a reaction video. Okay. All right. Well, then where did the time go? You know where the time went? It went where time always goes. Time doesn't go anywhere. Time doesn't go. Time just is. Is it? I don't know. What do I know? When I want you in the night, and I want you to hold me tight whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. I can make you mine. Again, he's being very possessive. Taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, everybody, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I want you so. And that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. All I have to do is dream, dream, dream. Dream, dream. You know what? You should find yourself someone you don't just have to dream about. You should find yourself someone who you can see in real life. Dreaming is fine, but you can't go to a movie, dinner and a movie with your dream. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, thank you for popping in. Thank you for spending some of your evening with me. Have you ever seen the movie Grace of My Heart about a songwriter writing love songs? I haven't seen it, but I'd like to see it. Grace of My Heart. I think I told you on the show a few weeks ago. I listened to a podcast a few years ago. It was Phil Collins explaining how to write a breakup song. There's so much I need to say to you, so many reasons why. You're the only one who really knew me at all. So take a look at me now. There's just an empty space. Oh boy, it's a heartbreaker. But that's a great episode. If you can find that episode, I think it was This American Life, where they interview Phil Collins. It's unbelievable, that episode. Martin Scorsese. Phil Collins wrote the book of Genesis. Okay, in a sense. All right, everybody. Join me in a moment if you'd like. I'll go over to Instagram Live and do a few more, explore a few more ideas. Okay, thanks.